if you haven't seen my last FTK video, we could basically mill our entire deck by setting a copy of Merchant face down, and then flipping it up with our Book of Tire, and using the skill, it allows us to mill our entire deck. And the catch is we couldn't play any other spells or traps other than the single copy of Tire, because Magical Merchant will stop milling once it hits a spell or trap. So other than the Tire that we will draw in our hand, we won't have any other spell traps. So the way it works is our skill will add a spell, 3 spells to be exact, to the bottom of our deck. So it allows us to reveal Lifestream Dragon from our extra deck, and then it adds 3 copies of Double Tool C&D to the bottom of our deck. So it guarantees us to always mill our entire deck every time we use the effect of Magical Merchant. So after that, it's just a whole bunch of monsters that revive themselves. So instead of using Ptolemy M7 and Levianeer and Catapult Turtle, stuff like that to do an FTK, what we can do instead is make a super cool synchro board by using a lot of non-tuners and tuners that summon themselves from the graveyard. So the end board we are trying to make is 1 copy of Stardust Warrior, 1 copy of Shooting Star Dragon, 1 copy of Stardust Dragon, and 1 copy of Frame Lord Zeta. So that is 4 synchro monsters in our end board total. So you might be wondering, how are we going to have 4 synchro monsters in our field when we only have 4 monster zones? Because obviously if you want to synchro summon a monster, you need a tuner and a non-tuner, so that's 2 monsters. So how am I going to have enough zones to have 4 synchro monsters? Well, you will be able to see how I am going to do it very soon. So basically, other than the monsters that revive themselves or summon from the graveyard, we also have a bunch of extra slots because we don't need all 20 card slots in our deck for the combo. So instead, we're also going to play some other monsters that have good graveyard effects, like 3 copies of Tuning Gum. If we have a synchro monster that is being targeted by a card effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard and negate the effect. And it is not once per turn, so we are playing 3 copies of Tuning Gum, so we can negate 3 times when our opponent tries to target our synchro monsters with their effects. And also, since we have 2 slots left, we can play a Bacon Saver, and we can play an AD Changer just because. So our end board will be really hard to beat, because Stardust Warrior can negate special summons, Shooting Star Dragon negates attacks, Frame Lord Zeta will banish special summoned monsters, and Stardust Dragon and Shooting Star Dragon have negates when our opponent tries to destroy our monsters. So the reason why we are not playing 3 copies of Book of Tire, even though we need this card in our hand, is because we don't want to have multiple copies of Tire. Because if we have more copies of Tire in our deck, we will be excavating it using our Merchant, which we don't want to happen because we don't want to have any other spells other than the 3 we put in the bottom of our deck using the skill. So if we do play multiple copies of Book of Tire, well, we have a chance that we won't be able to excavate every single monster in our deck. So to prevent this situation, we are going to only play a single copy of Book of Tire, even though I do have 3 copies of this card. So that's basically the deck. So let's see if we can pull the combo off. Obviously this combo is not very consistent, because we can only do the combo if we have 1 Magical Merchant and 1 Book of Tire in our hand, both of which are not searchable, and also we can only play 1 copy of Tire. So and the combo only goes well if we go first, because if we go second, it's very easy for our opponent to just disrupt our combo. But, well, we did it first try. We have our full combo just right there. I'm quite surprised that we got it so early. Anyway, we will be activating our skill first. Remember to activate your skill before you start flipping your magical merchant. But now we activate our skill so we could start milling. So this will take a long time because you have to activate them one by one. So once you activate every single monster in your deck, you will be able to do your full combo. So if we have more copies of Book of Tyre, we might hit one of the Book of Tyre in the process, and that means we can't mill all the monsters, which we don't want to happen. Okay, so first of all, we will begin our combo by making Stardust Warrior. We will bounce back the copy of Magical Merchant to have a level 4 Blackwing to our field, and then next we will make Jet Synchron. We'll discard a card, and we will revive itself. Okay, that's 4+1. 4+1, we can make the level 5 Tuner Synchro Monster. And that is the only level 5 Tuner Synchro Monster that we have in the entire game that is generic. Because the other ones are TG monsters, which we can't make using what we have. So we have to use, we have to make the Battle Wasp. Okay, next we will use the Blackwing, banishing itself and the Zephyros that we just used to make another level 5 Synchro Monster. Okay, now we have one Tuner and non-Tuner Synchro Monsters that add up to level 10. We can make Stardust Warrior. And then we could use the effect of Solkias to start making our second boss monster, which is our Shooting Star Dragon. First we will do that to revive itself, discarding the 2 other cards that we drew. And then Plague Spreader Zombie will send the Equip spell that we got from our merchant back to the deck. And then we can Synchro Summon a Stardust Dragon. Boom. There it is. Stardust Dragon. Well, we aren't done yet. We're far from done. We're going to now use the effect of Rose Nyx. Gives ourselves a token. That is a level 1. And then the effect of Glow Up Bulb can mill a card from the top of the deck to revive itself, and then we can make our level 2 Tuner Synchro Monster, Formula Synchron. And we could draw a card using the effect of Formula Synchron, but we will not, because we don't have a lot of cards left in our deck, so we don't really want to deck out ourselves. So what we'll do is just use it as a synchro material. So there is our Shooting Star Dragon. Okay, now that's left is the remaining 2 synchro monsters. We'll first use a Chaos Betrayer to banish a light. We're just gonna banish the Formula Synchron, and a dark. Okay, light in the dark, and that's the Chaos Betrayer. That's level 6. And then we can use the Daiko Duke to revive this copy of Dice. And now we have 6+1, which makes Zeta. So that's our 3rd Synchro Monster. So how are we going to make our final Stardust Dragon? That is very simple. We just simply end the turn. And once our opponent draws a card, we can activate the effect of Archbrave Dragon that we milled to revive a level 7 or 8 Dragon Monster. And Stardust Dragon is a level 8 Dragon Monster, which means we could revive it. So what we have here is a full board of Synchro Monsters. And also if our opponent tries to target any one of them with a card effect, we could just negate it, because we have 3 copies of Tuning Gum in our graveyard. We negate a target effect 3 times. So good luck to our opponent, because Magical Muskets can't really deal with high attack monsters without using target effects. If he tries to... Okay, he tries to use Desperado, obviously that won't work, because I could negate it with my shooting gums, or I can just negate it with my shooting star dragon, which is probably better because I want to save my shooting gums for this. So this is not a destroying effect, which means I can't negate it with my stardust, but I can negate it with tuning gum. So that's negate. Yeah, theoretically he could break my board if he uses the trap that banishes the monsters from my graveyard, but I don't think he has the right amount of cards in his hand to achieve that. So there we go. Look at our sick board. Yeah, our board will be even better if we face against a deck that special summons a lot, because we have a negate for a special summon, and we have a banish for a special summon. So yeah, there we go. That's the full combo. We'll give him a nice because why not? And there it is. That is a 2-card combo in Duel Links that allows you to make 4 synchro monsters and 3 negates in the graveyard, and a bacon saver and AD changer just for good measure.